good practice. A lot of intensity, a lot of situations, a lot of game-like situations, getting the coaches off the field, making those guys communicate and talk and have to play and deal with the good plays, bad plays, more like game situations, not scrimmages as far as not full scrimmages, but just getting situations like that where I call taking the pacifier away. The coaches aren't there looking over your shoulder, and you got to start processing and communicating. But pretty good day. And we'll look at the film and see there's good, bad, both ways. Look at the film and see what happens in practice. Questions?
We know a couple of guys weren't here today, Malik Henry being one of them. Where is Malik at?
Malik, right now he's suspended for violation of team rules right now.
Is there further comment you can provide on that? Or?
No. He's suspended for violation of team rules. Right
Will he miss the opener?
He's suspended right now for violation of team rules.
Going down the list, Cole Minshew was not practice.
Cole banged up yesterday. Had a little dizziness in his head and everything. They're keeping him out for concussion, like I said.
Nice to have Josh back out there today.
Yeah, really good. Great to get Josh back out there. That's why he said, man, that was cool. He walked up to me and said, man, that was cool, because it was more like game and flying around. But we even cranked it intensity. I mean, not the intensity, but the speed of it, getting the plays and the different things, getting them to him. Man, I said, he said, yeah, man. He said, it was funny. He just got done saying that to me 3 minutes as he walked there. It was cool to get back out here.
Well, between like Josh, DeMarcus, and then Brian, I mean, what's it like to have those three ends, especially Brian, because every time we talk to you, it seems like he's doing something that kind of stands out.
He is. I tell you what, Jacob Pugh made some things today. Saw Jacob jump out. Glad to get him back out there after a day or two off. It was really good to see him back out there. But those guys are. I mean, they have talent, they have ability, and your edge guys, I mean, they have to be difference makers. They have to be. I mean, that's just the way it is.
How's Alec Eberle coming along?
Okay. I mean, just getting his treatments. Seems to be doing better and better every day.
So the concussion symptoms?
Yeah, I mean, they all judge, but they say he's getting better and better every day.
You assess the red zone coverages. Is there anything for SY needs to improve on?
No, I mean, it's everything. I mean, I do, because you're constantly, and the thing about the red zone, it happens different all the time. The angles, the quickness, the timing, and the more you put them down there and educate them and what they can and can't do, and we're learning them, they're learning us, and they're learning what to do, you know what I mean? But he's getting better. We do some nice throws down there, make some nice plays.
You mentioned consistency. Was there anything else that you want for the game week? Just
like I say, you know what involves with consistency? It's mental toughness. You guys just accept that we're tired or hot. You know what I mean? Or you're sore. Football is a game in any sport. I don't care what it is. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we're grinding and pushing. You got to get that mental toughness. Talent's one. I don't care what you do. You get mentally tired. All of a sudden, I don't hear part of the call, or I violate for half a step. And I don't care how much ability you got. If I violate, the only way you're gonna know what to do is that it goes in here. It goes in here, and then I play. You know what I'm saying? And just keep grinding that out. And I think every team in the country is probably doing the same thing, right? It's not coach speak, it's real speak. I mean, that's just the reality of it's like a competition. Who can get the guys mentally tough enough all the way through to deal with all those issues? You know what I mean? And people say, well, yeah, no, it's hard. Come out here and do it.
When we talk about that mental toughness, I mean, is that kind of one of the benefits of having 2 days where you can see how guys do in the second session?
No doubt, because you don't get many of them nowadays. You know what I'm saying? You don't get a lot of them.
We've talked to you since the scrimmage after going back, watching it on tape a few times. What stood out to you, maybe reevaluating it?
Flashes, you saw big play potential on both sides. And then you saw not enough consistency, like I was talking about. You know, I'm going to tell you what, now I will say this, that day we scrimmaged, it was about as warm and as hot as it has been maybe a long, long time. But you know what? That's a circumstance you had. You get hot, you get tired. You cannot give in to that. The mental fatigue of it, the tiredness, all those types of things, you just got to grind. Real consistency. And that's usually where you're at in the first scrimmage, but you can't accept it, you know what I'm saying?
Do you get a chance to see the young guys? Do they change after first scrimmage? Do they get the taste of kind of what it
Yeah,
looks
I
like?
think they are, because they get a little starry-eyed, and you know, I think they go in half scared, then they realize, well, maybe I am. Then they realize, well, it's not that bad. You know, it's not, you know, ain't nothing out there that, and it's almost like a reassurance that I'm okay, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? It's like anything you do. I mean, you're always nervous until you do it a couple times, so you know, I'm good enough to be here. Like I told him right there, there's not a guy out here that's not good enough to be here. There's not a guy here that doesn't deserve to be here, what I'm saying talent-wise. The thing is, what's keeping most of you guys back is generally the consistency you play with. But that's there, you know, that's all the time. We're getting there.
You mentioned in your opening thing about how people spend so much time talking about combines. It's more about football nowadays. So going into this game, what are you guys doing in scrimmages and just in the drills to make sure your linebackers can versatile?
Situations. I mean, making them think, making them play football, making them understand where their help is. And it's football is not a class. You know, you talk about academics. Football is as academic as anything. You're taking a test every week. You got to fill out a test. It's just happened to be in front of 83,000 in a stadium and 20 million on a TV. I mean, and what your answers are and how you, in other words, you know, if I'm spilling the play to somebody else, if I'm the guy that's supposed to make it, if I'm setting the edge, if I'm the blitzer, if I got the back, if I got the tight end, I mean, those disciplines. And you go back and look at the combinations of things a linebacker really has to do. It's crazy. I mean, that is a unbelievably versatile position to blitz, to play run, to be physical, to play skilled in space, to tackle in space, to tackle at the line of scrimmage and take on 300-pound guards, to have to, you know, do all the things you got to do. And, you know, and those guys are, I like, they're starting to really progress, starting to flash a little bit.
What has Roderick done to kind of turn the corner from last season?
Well, I mean, I thought he was playing pretty good last year when he played, but I think just maturity and consistency, you know what I'm saying?
How are your backup running backs doing so far?
Not bad. I tell you, I mean, Jacquez doing okay, but I like the Jonathan Vickers, the way he's running. Ryan Green has stood out. Ryan, sometimes I think you got to keep his eyes straight, but he made 2 really good runs the other day in the scrimmage, broke tackles and strong. Just staying a little more consistent. Sometimes he'll miss a read every now and then with an eye violation, but I'm not. I mean, guys doing, you know, much better. The young guy Rasul, I mean, he jumps out at you.
Is there a fine line? You obviously know what Dalvin can do, but you also need to keep him sharp and keep him repping.
Yeah, there is a fine line. How many times do you get? But in here, when we're not tackling to the ground, he's getting. I mean, we're repping him to death because and that's what we're trying to do. You got to get in playing shape.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can tell them guys don't play, get protected, and all. Man, that don't work. You got it. Football is a game. Everybody said, well, set them out and rest them. Unless you're an old, there ain't a lot of guys I've known and ever been around that can sit for long periods of time and really be sharp. You know what I'm saying? But what you got to do is keep them off the ground.
Right. And
it's a thud drill. It's not we ain't trying to kill each other. I tell our guys out here, a square up shot you hit pretty good. You don't try, but those crackbacks or blindside shots, you don't do your teammate that way. You walk up and nudge him, or you know what I mean, because you're going to get enough of those in the game. But you got to keep them sharp.
Jimbo, how, being as thin as you are a quarterback right now, does that affect preparation at all? I mean, I usually have 4 teams going.
No, it doesn't right now because what we're trying to do, we're getting in so many different full wide packages. You got some injuries, so full wide packages, all your different and your nickel, dime, and all those 7-8 man DB packages. When you do those a lot of times, because you only got, you know, maybe 16 total DBs, and you have 7 on the field at a time, you got to come together and only do 2 groups and those other guys just get a break during that period. You know what I mean? We'll split them up at times, but then, and the quarterbacks just get double work, which actually make them doubly as good.
How's Travis Rudolph's recovery coming along?
Good. They said progressive nicely, and hopefully we'll have him in a couple days.
Is he kind of itching to get out there?
Oh, he is that, and I tell you what, he's doing a good job leading on the sideline.
What's the biggest difference with DeAndre from when you started the first practice until now?
I think today what I really liked was his demeanor and control of the team. In other words, not out there just going assignments, but part of quarterbacking, you got to have presence. You got to control things. It's not about, everybody thinks about physical and throwing the ball. I mean, you got to have presence in the huddle, you got to have presence on the field, you got to have command, making sure guys are getting command. No, over here. You know what I mean? Your body language and things like that. And I think that's continually growing. And I'm grinding on him. I mean, bad on him. I mean, because I think that is, you know, when you recruit quarterbacks and things like that, man, I mean, when they walk in the room, you better know who they are. Not because they say so, because you ever just look at somebody and say, there's some presence about him, there's some command about him. And continue to, and you got it off the field, now you got to continue to grow on the field. You know what I mean? And that's hard as you're learning your job, but that's the hand they're dealt.
Jimbo, Trickett said that this freshman class was as good offensive line freshman class as he's ever had.
I would be one of the best ones. I mean, talent-wise.
Yeah.
Now, can they take it? Everybody said, well, guys, you don't know sometimes their mental makeup till they get under stress conditions and things like that. But they've done a good job so far. I've been impressed with them. I really have. All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jimbo.
Thanks, Jimbo.